Nigeria, when we got independent, it was 3 years before independence, was supposed to be made up of 6 regions.
Yes.
The 6 regions were the Northern region, the Middle Belt region, the Western region in Ibadan, the Midwest region in Benin, the Eastern region in Enugu, and the core region. The core region was to be in Calabar, and it is referred to as Calabar or Goja rivers. That is the areas that is the minority-speaking parts of Eastern Nigeria. But at the Constitutional Conference at Lancaster House here in the UK, just prior to independence, it was agreed that upon independence, Nigerians can now call a referendum to decide the shape of the nation. So just a year and 3 months after independence, the first referendum was called for the creation of the Midwest. The Midwest was to be carved out of the old Western Nigeria. The Midwest is the only area of Nigeria that was ever created constitutionally in Nigeria. The first 3 regions were created by fiat by the British, and after that, just before the Civil War in 1967, Gowon started the balkanization of Nigeria. So military men just started drawing lines all over the place. But the only time Nigerians sat down and wrote a constitution, our Republican constitution, where we were totally now estranged from the United Kingdom, was in 1963. And in 1963, Nigeria had 4 co-equal regions. Northern region in Kaduna, Western region in Ibadan, Midwest region in Benin, and the Eastern region in Enugu. That was the status quo of Nigeria when on the 15th of January 1966, the military came and took over power. Okay. So we are saying that in terms of whoever is screaming marginalization today in the Nigerian nation,
yes,
they should realize that the most maligned, most marginalized, most reduced, most exploited, most explored are the people of the Midwestern region of Nigeria, those 12 minority tribes. We are actually 12 tribes of the Midwest. Akoko Edo, Esan, Esako, Olwan, Benin or Edo, Ulubu, Enoani, which everybody calls Bendel Igbo.
Yes.
Ika,
okay.
Okwani, Isoko, Western Ijo or Western Izon, and Ishekiri. We all of us have a commonality in the sense that we all say we came from the old. Let us put it that way. That is the nexus of the old Benin Empire. And that area of Nigeria is the most exploited and most exploited. The whole of the South-South that we talk about today is an anomaly. It is a creation of Dr. Alex Ekweme in trying to dispel the silly constitution that was banded together by General Abacha. So he brought out the idea of dividing Nigeria into 6 geopolitical zones. Those geopolitical zones are unconstitutional. They don't exist in anywhere in our constitution. It's just in social space. But the only constitutionally created part of Nigeria, historically, is the present-day Edo and Delta states, which was then the Midwest, or Bender. Bender means Bini Delta.
Yes.
That's how it came about.
Okay, but you're not clamoring for
independence.
Yes.
No. But if it happens by default, so be it. So what even actually brought us out particularly about 2.5 years ago, was when we started seeing our close neighbors. When I say I'm close neighbor, I mean our Yoruba brothers and our Igbo brothers coming up with maps.
Okay.
And these maps were drawn without consultation with the people of the Midwest. And our first reaction was, this was what they did in 1967. Let me tell you what they did in 1967. When in May 1967, on the 27th of May, Mr. Gowon, Lieutenant Colonel Jack Gowon, who later became Yakubu Gowon, decided to create wahala in the Eastern region because of the failure of the Aburi Conference. He decided to divide the Eastern region into 3 states. He turned the old Eastern region into East Central State, which is now that East Central State now is now the 5 states of Ebonyi, Anambra, Imo, Enugu, and Abia. And then he created River State in Port Harcourt, putting the Ikwere speaking and the Calabari people. And then he created Southeastern State. So where is the Southeast today? Where is the Southeast geopolitical zone? Actually, it's referring to a state that is not even in that place. The Southeastern State was created in 1967 with headquarters in Calabar, which is now the combined Cross River and Akwa Ibom. So he now created, in the Western region, he just created 2 states, Lagos and Western Nigeria.
Yes.
So that was when the break started. And they started creating states, as if states was something you shuffled on a pile of cards.
So your concern is this?
Yes.
Paraventure?
Yes.
Nigeria?
Yes. Since it exists as it is presently constituted. Yes.
you want is like the Edo Delta to be carved out.
Yes.
So you don't want to fall under the.
We are not Biafra.
The West
We are not
or
Oduduwa. No. We are unique people who, from 1967, in a universal referendum. That's why I support the Igbo clamor for a referendum. A referendum is that the people vote to decide how to want to federate. Nigeria is the most badly skewed federal structure in the history of the world. There is no federation like Nigeria. Nigeria is a badly skewed federation, and there must be a structural dismantling of Nigeria for it to be reconstituted along non-federal paradigms. It doesn't exist now. In 1967, August 18, the military of Biafra swept across the River Niger and went across the Midwest in a 24-hour blitzkrieg and took over Benin. And General or Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu announced the Republic of Benin. There was a Republic of Benin before this one you have now in Kotonou. Before the fall of Victor Obanjo in Ore, and then the entrance of Murtala Mohammed, who also came to the same Midwest to do havoc. So in Nigeria, the Nigerian Civil War was not fought anywhere. It was fought in the East and in the Midwest. We don't want that. We don't want to be collateral damage or cannon fodder for any contending ethnic forces. We want to remain in Nigeria if Nigeria will restructure itself, because this Nigeria is dead. Let's be frank. Nigeria is not working. Anybody who thinks Nigeria is working is being economical with the truth. The only thing that has to be worked out is a properable, acceptable paradigm that will put all the federating ethnic units in a place to negotiate their willingness to continue in the union or their unwillingness therefrom.
If the center, the federal government, agree to have talks, a roundtable discussion, and decided we could restructure Nigeria in the palace of true federalism. Everyone, do you think IPOB will be willing?
You see, IPOB is you don't legislate how your people want to be. So when I hear people put down IPOB, because I laugh at them. They are a very large chunk of Eastern. Ironically, I'm also Igbo in my way. I'm Igbo in the sense that I'm married to an Igbo woman. I speak Igbo. I have business in Igbo land. But I keep telling people that maybe the paradigm of division has not been thought out end to end by those who are propagating IPOB for three major reasons. Number one, everything about politics is economics, and everything about economics is politics. You cannot, the reason Nigeria is together today as a country, because Nigeria is not a nation is a state of mind, is as a result of the Igbo-ness of the Igbo man. The Igbo man is the little Aradite, the glue that puts Nigeria together. Because they are the only set of persons within that space that will leave his house in Umunauchi, Keduru, or somewhere in Aba, and go to Karanamuda and build a house and build a business and invest there. So the Igbo man is the highest commercial economic propeller of the Nigerian state.
Okay, I'll come back.
The only persons that Nigeria currently advantages are the members of the ruling class. The people in Kankara, they are Fulanis. Zamfara is Fulani and Hausa almost equally divided. The northeast, the Boronus and the Fulanis, and then a lot of minorities. Who is enjoying Nigeria the way it is? Why are we afraid to confront our problems with ideas? Because the ideas will be unpopular. Why? They might be unpopular. Yes, explain it to them. Speak to people in relatable terms. Is it that the man in the northeast and the northwest does not want good life for themselves and their children? Do they understand how the structural lopsidedness of Nigeria makes it impossible to develop infrastructure? Do they understand that once upon a time, the same country that had only 4 regions now has 36 states and a federal capital, each of which has a governor, a state house of assembly? Once upon a time, there were more local governments in the southern, in fact, Yoruba land, the west, had more local government than the whole of northern Nigeria, because local governments were not the basis for sharing revenue. They were basis for locating development, and the western region was interested in urbanizing and developing its space. So they created a lot of local governments, but today, you create local government based on land mass, whether there are people there or not. These so-called advantages, how does it trickle down to the common man on the streets of northern Nigeria? These advantages are claimed in the names of Arewa, but it accrues only to members of their feudal ruling class. It has never percolated down to the people. Why is it that we are afraid to speak to ourselves? Because you see, we have made it so easy for Nigeria to perpetrate lies, just to be lying. What northern Nigeria? Who are these northern Nigerians? Are the people of the plateau part of this northern Nigeria that does not want restructuring? The people in Bauchi, are they one of them as well? All those parts of Bauchi, the Tangali people, so they don't want this restructuring. The Jukuns in Taraba do not want this restructuring. Are they not in northern Nigeria as well? Who is northern Nigeria? Who are the northern? It is important that we dispel these myths by confronting the issues with truth.
Hi, my people, welcome back. I think you don't watch and listen to within them talk concerning the thing will be okay with the face for inside this country now. And I know how this country be, and I know how many people they feel marginalization for this country. If you look at the first man, we'll be saying talk for inside this video, in talk and say the issue will be say okay we get for inside this country now it be marginalization and many other things. You know that okay many minority languages will be say okay they differ inside this country too. Don't they complain about marginalization tete? People like Ijo, Eastern and many other South people, them that they feel marginalized, but in as much as this first man will be saying talk, say that those minority, they first establish them between the majority, like before the majority, I mean to say. You know, even suppose they compare, though what in talk for the India right for everything will be saying talk, but the part where we see talk where we see me and not to get joy for now be the part when you say the minority are being marginalized. I don't know how you take put down, but you get how the parts look somehow, like it is somehow. So now why me I come up against some no be okay waiting talk no day where everything very be saying talk for inside this video they alright, and the way that they quit many states. You know, so many people they quit many states, they add many local government now, may they benefit, especially northerners. If you look at within the delivery, we talk about northerners every year. No, so northern people, all this thing, so they add many local government, make their own people plenty, that they add them for their own selfish interest. Now, I think that they do. I don't know, so northern people now, then be the most cocoa issue, we say, in this Nigeria of the thing, get 30. If northern people are to be out of this country wouldn't have like even be where it is today, because northern people are the people who are drawing this country back politically and in everything. So it's not as if okay we are propaganding or doing all this thing against northern people because okay they don't normally talk. It's not that way. Everyone knows. If I say northern people, it's not only Hausa and many other people that are northern people. There are many northerners, okay, they're inside north where they make all this issue come up. If you look at the issue where we say okay with the game for inside this country, now it be Fulani where we say okay they don't fall for north, now it be the people where we say okay that they make all this blame they do on northerners. No be so okay all these northern people are very bad. It's like many of those people who say okay that they always call all this Hausa say okay now them be the problem, never stay with Hausa people before. Me I don't deal with Hausa people before. I know the kind of person who say that we the kind of person who say they get soft heart. Now that kind of people now they be best all this Fulani. Okay, they come enter their state now, come use their religion and many other things, confuse them. So them they don't come be their self again. Now you now understand. So for those of you now, we say okay, now here waiting these two persons where we say they talk for inside this video talk. Those of now we say okay now I want talk now get anything we say now I want talk concerning within the talk. We can drop on inside comment section. And for those of you who say okay now today be your first time, I beg make you subscribe so that you don't go miss the next video. Thank you.